Well, evening, friends. Good evening. Thank you for spending your evening with us. Welcome to Hindman Settlement School. If you've never been with us before, my name is Sarah Kate. I'm the Traditional Arts Education Director, and we are just tickled pink that y'all have chosen to spend your evening with us. It's so nice to be able to come to an actual place and hear live music again. So, yeah, thanks for coming, being a part of this gentle reintroduction back into society. I'm so incredibly honored and blessed that we have had Hindman Settlement has been able to host Elizabeth LaPrelle for the week. Elizabeth LaPrelle is a singer and scholar of Appalachian ballad-singing. She's a banjo-player, a storyteller, and a visual artist. Her work has often been about where her love of theater and performance art intersects with her background in traditional music. Elizabeth is credited with popularizing the antiquated performance art known as Crankies. Elizabeth has been performing and studying Appalachian ballads and old-time songs since she was 11 years old, growing up in rural Retreat, Virginia. As a teen, Elizabeth learned the mountain style of singing from mentors Jenny Hawker and Sheila K. Adams, who has spent some time here at the Settlement School as well, which led her to explore archives and field recordings for ancient and little-known songs. This past week, Elizabeth has spent in Knott County at Knott County Central High School working with Ashlyn Swihart in her art class, and they've been making Crankies all week long. And Abby has been one of the students, and we're just really fortunate to be able to have a master artist spending the week with us. So, if you don't mind, give a big Knott County welcome to Elizabeth LaPrelle.
Thank you so very much. It really is an honor to be spending time at Hindman. As you look around the room, you know, if you are really familiar with the Settlement School's history, you'll know how exciting it is for me as someone who loves ballads and those stories and the history of their collection to be here. And also as someone who loves textile art to be here among the quilts. Handicrafts and ballads has a long history here, so that's very exciting for me. If you're not familiar with the Settlement School and the work that they've been doing for a long time, as you look around, you'll probably discover some. You know, there's great books over here, these portraits, and all the crafts in the back. It's been a real treat, and I really hope to come back again sometime soon. Tonight I'm going to be singing a lot of traditional songs, a lot of ballads, and I'm going to be doing a few of the Crankies that I made in the duo Anna and Elizabeth. So all of the Crankies that you see, from the one that's spread out in the back there to the ones that I'll be performing up here, were made by Anna Roberts-Javalt and me. Anna Roberts-Javalt is in New York, in Queens, and I'm down here through baby, then COVID, blah, 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 long story. With no further ado, I will just I'll get started with a song. It's very special to be at a show in person. I don't know if you're feeling it, but I'm very touched in a way that I think I sort of took for granted before. So thank you. Thank you again for being here. As I were walking one fair May morning, all down by the greenwood side, and there I spied a pretty fair miss, and all alone she cried, "You're welcome home, my pretty fair miss. You're welcome home with me, and you may have my oldest son, a husband for to be. Oh, I don't want your oldest son for he's neither lord nor king. I never intend to be the bride of none, but John over the hazel green. As I were riding the ink-black road, the road run near to the town, oh, up stepped John of Hazelgreen, and helped his lady down. His hair were long, his shoulders were broad, he's the flower of all his kin. His hair hung down like links of gold, John over the hazel green. It's 40 times he kissed her cheeks, and 40 times her chin, and 40 times her red and rosy lips, and led his lady in. If ever I a vow break on you, my love, oh, heaven will forsaken me, and send me down to the torment place, where I never return to thee. John of Hazelgreen. Thanks so much. So when Anna and I started making Crankies together, it was sort of through being inspired by the imagery in the songs and knowing that as we took it around to perform ballads for people who maybe hadn't heard very many of them before, maybe weren't used to really listening so attentively to this kind of archaic English and trying to follow along with the story from verse to verse while the song is kind of rolling at you. We decided to take those images and illustrate them and kind of show what the pictures in our heads were like when we were hearing these songs. So I'm gonna do one for you now. It's one of the first ones that we made together. It illustrates the ballad of Lord Bateman and the Turkish Lady, and this is Jean Ritchie's version of Lord Bateman. And Jean Ritchie and her family spent a little bit of time here at Hindman, so that's part of the choice to bring this one out to you today. Lord Bateman was a noble lord, and he thought himself of a high degree. He could not rest nor be contented till he had sailed that old salt sea. Well, he sailed east and he sailed to the westward. He sailed all over to the Turkish shore, and there they took and bound him prisoner, never to be released anymore. There grew a tree inside of this prison. There grew a tree both broad and high, and there they took and bound him prisoner, till he grew weak and like to die. Well, the turkey had one only daughter, and she was fair as fair could be. She stole the keys to her father's prison, and she vowed Lord Bateman she'd set free. She took him down to the deepest cellar. She gave him a drink of the strongest wine. She threw her loving little arms around him, she vowed Lord Bateman she'd go find. Well, she sailed east, and she sailed to the westward. She sailed all over to the English shore. She sailed till she came to Lord Bateman's castle, and she summoned the porter right down to the door. Oh, is this not Lord Bateman's castle? And is his lordship not within? Oh yes, cried the proud young porter. He's just now taken the new bride in. Go bid him send me a slice of cake. Go bid him send me a drink of wine, and not to forget the Turkish lady who freed him from his close confine. What's the news, you proud young porter? What's the news that you bring to me? There stands a lady at the door of your castle. She's the fairest one that I ever did see. She has got a gold ring on every finger, and on one of them she has got 3, and enough gay gold all around her middle, as would buy Northumberland of thee. She bids you send her a slice of cake. She bids you send her a drink of wine, and not to forget the Turkish lady who freed you from your close confine. Well, then up spoke the new bride's mother, who never was heard to speak so free. Oh, what's to become of my only daughter? She was just now made a bride of thee. Well, I've done no harm to your only daughter, and she is none of the worse for me. She came to me in a horse and saddle, and she shall go home in cochery. Lord Bateman's pounded his fist on the table. He broke it in pieces, 1, 2, 3. Said I'd forsake all for the Turkish lady. She has crossed that old salt sea for me. Thank you. There's more of those to come. As you probably as you may or may not know, a lot of these old songs made their way to Appalachia from the British Isles. So this is one that actually made its way to Appalachia in this generation via the internet, via compact disc. I learned this from the singing of Kath and Phil Tyler, who are based in Newcastle, England. And Kath is actually from the US, and Phil is from the UK. It's called Courting is a Pleasure. Courting is a pleasure between my love and I, and it's down in yon green valley. I will meet her by and by. Molly, dearest Molly, I'll stay till broad daylight. Going to church last Sunday, my true love passed me by. I could see your mind was changing by the rolling of her eye. I could see your mind was altered by a lad of a high degree. Oh, Molly, dearest Molly, your looks have wounded me. Up stepped her love William with a bottle in his hand, saying, "Drink this lovely Molly, for our love will never stand." Saying, "Drink this lovely Molly, let the bottle, the glass flow free. 10 guineas I would wager that married we ne'er shall be. Never court a fair young maid with a dark and a rolling eye. Just kiss her and embrace her, never tell the reason why. Just kiss her and embrace her till you cause her heart to yield. The faint-hearted soldier never gained the battlefield. Farewell, Ballymolly, likewise you sweet Benshore. Farewell, you dusky hills, will I never see you more. America lies far away, that land I will go see. May oh bad luck attend the one who has parted my love from me. Do one called The House Carpenter. Well met, cried an old true love. to weep, and she wept most bitterly. Oh, are you weeping for your house or your land? Do you weep for your native shore? Or are you weeping for your house carpenter, whose face you'll never see anymore? I'm not a weeping for my house carpenter, nor yet for my native shore, but I am weeping for my tender little babe, whose face I'll never see anymore. They hadn't been sailing but about 3 weeks. I know that it was not more, when our gallant ship, she sprang a leak, and she sank to rise no more. What hills are those, my love, so white as any snow? Oh, those are the hills of heaven, my love, where you and I must go. What hills are those, my love, so black as any crow? Oh, those are the hills of hell, my love, where you and I must go. Thank you. I think I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more Crankies right in a row. Like the ballads themselves, I mean, the images here are going to go from sort of like fairy tale, light and mythical, to some of the darkest things that could happen. So that's just your warning about that. So if you get curious about how this all works, the mechanics of it, please do come say hello or come take a look at these. Maybe I'll bring them over there towards the CD table. Be happy to show you. This is the patented quick change scrolling box, which this one down here, this box was actually made by your very own Sarah Kate. And if I may say, it's a little bit nicer than this one. But this one has also been in some suitcases going across some oceans and across the country a few times. So. This ballad, The Devil's 9 Questions, I learned from a recording of Texas Gladden, who was from southwestern Virginia, where I am from. She learned it actually from a ballad collector who had learned it from someone in the next county over. And that collector was Alfreda Peel, She was a teacher and a collector, a lot like some of the founding mothers of the settlement school. And Alfreda Peel learned it from Mrs. Rill Martin, who was a sawmill cook. And according to the story of her collecting this song, she kept a pet owl on her shoulder that she had when they rode up, and they were riding, they were looking for songs on this muddy road, and they came up and they saw Mrs. Rill Martin standing there with her pet owl, and she said, "You can come in, but you got to watch out for the snakes. They don't like the thunder." And so they came in and they were asking her, "Oh, do you know any songs? Would you mind singing for us?" And she said, "Well, I might want to sing you some songs, but I do not have time, for I have all of these dishes to do." And so luckily there were two of them, one of them to volunteer to wash the dishes, and the other one to transcribe while Mrs. Rill Martin sang the Devil's Nine Questions. So here we are. Now you must answer my questions 9. Sing 99 and 90, or you aren't God's, you are one of mine. And who is the weaver's Bonnie? What is whiter than milk? Sing 99 and 90, and what is softer than the silk? And who is the weaver's Bonnie? Snow is whiter than the milk. Sing 99 and 90, and down is softer than the silk. And I am the weaver's Bonnie. What is louder than a horn? Sing 99 and 90, and what is sharper than a thorn? And who is the weaver's Bonnie? Thunder's louder than a horn. Sing 99 and 90, and death is sharper than a thorn. And I am the weaver's Bonnie. What is higher than a tree? Sing 99 and 90, and what is deeper than the sea? And who is the weaver's Bonnie? Heaven is higher than a tree. Sing 99 and 90, and hell is deeper than the sea. And I am the weaver's Bonnie. What's more innocent than a lamb? Sing 99 and 90, and what is meaner than womankind? And who is the weaver's Bonnie? A babe's more innocent than a lamb. Sing 99 and 90, and the devil is meaner than womankind. And I am the weaver's Bonnie. Now you've answered my questions 9. Sing 99 and 90, so you are God's, you're none of mine. And you are the weaver's Bonnie. Great singing. Thank you so much. This is another very ancient ballad. It's called The Cruel Mother. And this version is from the singing of Addie Graham, the grandmother of Rich Kirby, wonderful musician in his own right. And he was lucky because he realized, I I guess in his 20s maybe, how special it was that his grandma knew all these songs and sang them. And very lucky for us that he realized that and started to record her, because she's an amazing singer with a really amazing and diverse repertoire. You can hear a lot of her songs through the Apple Shop, June Apple Records label. You can look up her album. I highly recommend it. And this is her version of The Cruel Mother. There was a woman lived in the dark, all alone and lonely-o. She fell in love with her father's clerk, down by the greenwood side-o. She dressed herself in scarlet red, all alone and lonely-o, and wished to God she'd better been dead, down by the greenwood side-o. She leaned herself against a thorn, all alone and alone-o. And there she had two pretty babes born, down by the greenwood side-o. She buried them under a marble stone, all alone and alone-o, and prayed to God it would never be known, down by the greenwood side-o. Oh babes, if you were mine, all alone and alone-o, I'd dress you up in silk so fine, down by the greenwood side-o. Oh mother, when we were yours, all alone and alone-o, you neither dressed us coarse nor fine, down by the greenwood side-o. Oh babes, pray tell to me, all alone and alone-o, what I must suffer for the killing of thee, down by the greenwood side-o. 7 long years on earth to dwell, all alone and alone-o. The rest of your days you'll spend in hell, down by the greenwood side-o. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a fine bird. She sings as she flies. She'll cause you no trouble, for she'll tell you no lies. I'll build me a cabin on the mountain so high. I'll think on my true love as he passes me by. His love is like a spring day that swiftly turns cold. He cares not for true love, but only for gold. Make my grave on the hillside, near the nest of the dove, so she can mourn for me, like I mourn for my love. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a fine bird. She sings as she flies. She'll cause you no trouble, for she'll tell you no lies. Thanks. I have no idea how we're doing on time. Great. Yeah. Then it's definitely time to invite up, you may have seen him in the back dancing around with a little tufty toddler. It's my husband, Brian Dolphin, and he's an ethnomusicologist. He's a songwriter. He plays more instruments than I would care to try to count at this time. He's been a musician for most of his life, and he's been here with me all week. With our son Noah is there, and he's, I think, been feeding him food for the last little bit. But here he comes now. We're going to play some songs together, play and sing. Please make him welcome, Brian Dolphin. We're actually going to reprise one of the first songs I ever recorded, far back before we met. It's called Rain and Snow.
From Betsy Rutherford, whose banjo that is.
That's right. Betsy Rutherford was a great singer from Galax, Virginia. Boy, I played her record. My parents had her record. I don't think it ever made it onto CD. But now, through the magic of YouTube, you can hear a lot. You can hear a lot of her music. And this is her banjo. I got to know her daughters, and her daughter, Heather Coffey, brought this out one day and said, you know what, I'm never playing this. This is Mom's banjo. I would love for it to just go out in the world and be played again. So I'm traveling with this one, Betsy Rutherford's banjo, a wonderful, wonderful singer. And she actually lived in Baltimore for a few years, which is why there's a Baltimore Orioles sticker up here on the headstock.
No Orioles fans in the house.
Well, I married me a wife. She gave me trouble all of my life. Threw me out in that cold rain and snow. Rain and snow. Well, I've done all I can do just to try to get along with you. I ain't gonna be treated this away. This away. Gonna be treated this away. Well, I saw her coming down the stairs, combing back her long yellow hair, and her cheeks were as red as a as a rose, oh Lord, and her cheeks were as red as a rose. Well, I married me a wife. She gave me trouble all of my life. Threw me out in that cold rain and snow. Rain and snow. Snow.
I might go run and get the lyrics.
Oh, yeah, good.
Tell them that
Get
are
my water,
tunes.
too. Yep.
Okay.
It's okay. I have to get my water. Okay, next we're going to play two original tunes, original old-time tunes. The first one is called Shark Week. I wrote that one on the banjo, and Brian's tune is called Old Ford. It's a double meaning.
Whoa.
Yep. Blowing their minds.
Whoa. I think it's about the more watery version of those rather than the more mechanical one. But could be both.
Very true.
Hey, so why is this it's the Troublesome Creek? Why is it called that? Speaking of. That's all right. It's the floodiness.
That was my guess. That sound good enough? Not too long, right?
No.
Yeah.
You can put that foot up whenever you want.
Yeah. Not used to putting the foot up as a banjo player.
Oh.
Excuse me.
Shark Week. His Old Ford. Some ancient technology right here for clothespins. Y'all know about this. I'm preaching to the choir here. Y'all are like, yeah. We taught you that. I'm from New York City. That's why I say that.
Sorry, I'm gonna start again.
Yeah. Keep singing if you want. Here goes the B section. One more time. All right.
We're going to do two more for you today. It's been
All right.
really fun.
This one is for something completely different. So I've been singing Ukrainian folk music for the past, I know, right? I wish everybody could see your eyes right now. That was great. They went wide for like at least 10 years. And with the war that's going on in Ukraine, and just thinking about it all the time, I thought it would be good for us to sing a Ukrainian folk song. And the double purpose of doing that is to solicit donations for humanitarian aid in Ukraine. And there's by the wonderful merch back there, there's a link where if you want to donate to there's, I don't know, 2.5 million refugees right now, not to mention like another almost 2 million people displaced within Ukraine, people fighting, for their homes, their land.
If you've been wondering how to help, this link is, in my eyes, like very high quality because I think it comes from Brian's, Ukrainian friends who actually know what's needed and where the money ought to go.
Yeah, it's a group that's been doing work in New York and in the diaspora for plenty of years now. They're tried and true, as it were. So please check that out. And yeah, this is actually a sad love song we're gonna sing to stay on theme.
That they're all the same, even if they're in a different language.
A
Everyone's
woman-
complaining about the same things.
A woman loves this guy, and he goes off to another in the night. Yep. Понад садом садом та й пшеничника лином та й пшеничника лином Горою весь, та й не по правді жико. Зачини по правді соколи. Зо мною живеш, зо мною живеш, а як вечір нам стане, а як вечір нам Name do druhої теж менемо молоденьке, мене молоденьке, задаєш.
Thanks so much.
It's your last song here.
Yes, this is, it's called The Castle of Dromore, and this is, again, something completely different. It's an Irish lullaby. It's one that my dad used to sing to me, and Brian and I have an album of lullabies that's all recorded. It just needs the mixing, and we recorded it all when we were, quarantined at home with our baby. So we were singing a lot of lullabies.
If you want to, it's not out yet, so there's a mailing list back there. If you want to find out when that's out. Actually, there's an album of tunes that we already recorded,
That's
which is
coming
finished
out,
being
yeah.
mixed, including those tunes you heard. So there's a lot that's in the works coming out. And you have plenty of CDs already back there.
There's a big selection back there. There's one cool one is there's a tribute album to Gene Ritchie where I'm singing one of Gene's songs, Not in Town with my mom. Whole big catalog. We have a new band that's based in Washington State, which is like original songs in a very dark mood. That's over there. We'd be happy to tell you all about them and about Crankies or really anything, so we'd love for you to come say hi.
You also teach lessons.
I also teach lessons. I teach them online and in person, but online's probably a better bet since I live in Washington State now for the next year at least. We'll trade emails if you're interested in taking either voice or clawhammer banjo lessons. Brian has a Patreon.
Oh, thank
He can tell you all about that. I have a Patreon. I can tell you all about that.
Yeah, original songs, traditional songs. Just talk to us. We'll tell you even more about all these things.
Yeah, and thanks so very much once again to Hindman, especially to Sarah Kate, who's been helping us with every little thing we needed all week.
And for doing sound, even. And
Yeah.
live stream,
So
Sarah
many
Kate.
hats.
Sarah Kate, everyone.
I was wondering if you could share a few of your anecdotes from your week at the
Oh.
I'd love to hear how the kids enjoyed it.
Yes. Let's see. What was fun? It was really cool. Well, you came while we were putting the wooden boxes together. That was a really exciting moment for me. And just seeing everybody get all their screws and getting the glue and, being like, is it going to collapse? That's always a fun moment. There's one student in particular that, and actually, Ashlyn is right here. We should give a hand to Ashlyn Swihart, the art teacher at not County Central High School, who's also been helping me with every little thing all week. But as soon as I arrived, Ashlyn was like, there's one student that I know is going to this will be perfect for them. And so watching Skylar, immediately know, like, okay, I know I want the brown paper because here's the color palette that I'm going to use. Here's the story that I made up. It's about this kingdom, and the child is born, and then the mother dies, and then the child grows up to hate the father. And then it's this whole intricate story that if we had been able to finish, they would have been so excited to bring their Cranky to show you.
Unfortunately, we did not have enough bus drivers today, so they didn't get to finish, but we will.
But Skylar's Cranky, yeah, Skylar's Cranky is going to be epic when it does get finished. I've seen the beginnings, and it's very intense. So look out for that. Yeah, I'm excited for the future there. Yeah. Yeah, and thank you all for coming tonight. It's a real treat. Okay, the Castle of Dromore.
It's kind of sing-alongable, the chorus.
Yeah.
It's a kind of sing-alonging crowd.
You're invited anyway.
The October winds lament around the castle of Dromore, yet peace is in her lofty halls, my loving treasure store. Though autumn leaves may droop and die, a bud of spring are you. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lulo. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lu. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lulo. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lu.
That's the chorus. You can sing it next time.
Bring no ill will to hinder us, my helpless babe and me. Dread spirits of the black water, Glen-Owen's wild banshee. And Holy Mary pitying us in heaven for grace doth sue. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lulo, la. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lu. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lulo, la. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lu. Take time to thrive, my ray of hope, in the garden of Dromore. Take heed, young eaglet, till thy wings are feathered fit to soar. A little rest, and then the world is full of work to do. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lulo, la. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lu. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lulo, la. Sing hush-a-bye, lulo, lu.
Brian Dolphin, everyone.
Elizabeth LaPrelle.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's take a bow. You take a bow. Okay, fine.
Absolutely.